Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the SH Figuarts Kid Goku. So yes, here we have SH Figuarts' first foray into Dragon Ball proper. Not Z, not Super, not GT. But we have Kid Goku, and hopefully they'll be making more Dragon Ball stuff in the future. So far the only thing they've announced is that really shitty Bulma that they're going to make. Either way, Kid Goku's really nice, certainly something worth having if you are a fan of Dragon Ball. I'm personally more fond of Dragon Ball than the other Dragon Ball series. So it was a really cool thing to get, and he is really good. So let's go ahead and zoom in for the articulation, sculpt, paint, details, all those sorts of things. Alright, starting off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Goku. Here is our standard 6-inch Marvel Legends Cosmic Armor Iron Man and 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. As you would expect, Goku is short. He's just a little bit taller than a Marvel Universe figure in terms of his actual body. And he comes up to about the waist on a 6-inch figure, but his head seems bigger than it should be, and I know child characters' heads are generally pretty big in anime, but it just seems bigger than it's supposed to be, and it makes him taller than he's supposed to be. So he comes up a bit higher than I would really want him to, including all the hair and stuff. And then here he is compared to a normal size SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figure. I picked Ultimate Gohan because it's the Goku body, and he was slightly easier to reach than Goku. And just like I said before, he comes up higher on a normal figure than I would want him to, just because of the size of his head. And he is probably also just a little bit too tall in the body, but I think if his head was smaller, it would be less noticeable. It's not a big complaint, but it is also the biggest complaint I have about the figure. Now let's go ahead and get everything else out of here and just look at Kid Goku. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. Of course, Goku is wearing his orange gi. He has his symbols on the front and the back, the Turtle Hermit symbols. Bare arms with blue wristbands. He's got a black sash. Standard sort of cloth detail on the pants and on the rest of the outfit as well. And then he's got his little blue shoes with the white upper parts. I don't know if those are socks or what they are, but they're white. And overall, he just looks like Goku. I don't really have any massive complaints about the way he looks. It's pretty good. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on his head sculpt. Head sculpt-wise, of course, Goku has his spiky mass of black hair, which looks pretty good. And then he has 3 different face sculpts. He has a happy open mouth sort of expression with his eyes open. He has another similar face with his eyes closed, and you can see some teeth in the smile. And then he has a more serious battle kind of expression. All 3 of the face sculpts look really good. They look like Kid Goku type expressions. I do wish he had something a little bit more neutral, or at least something where the mouth wasn't open, just so there'd be a bit more variety between the 3, but they all still look really good, and I don't have any massive complaints. Now let's go ahead and zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Goku has pretty standard SH Figuarts articulation, just on a smaller body. His head is on the standard little ball disc, so that goes forward and back and side to side. And it also has a ball peg in there as well, so it tilts forward and back a little bit more than it normally would, so that helps a bit. It seems like he's got a very slight neck joint, but I don't really get any motion out of it, so that might just be where the neck is attached at. I'm honestly not sure. He has butterfly joints in the shoulders, and then ball joint shoulders that move in and out and forward and back. Bicep cut. He has single jointed elbows, but they get a decent range of motion. Hinge and rotation in the wrist. He's got a decent little diaphragm joint that moves around pretty well, and the same thing below that for the waist, so you get full range of abdominal motion there pretty much. Legs go forward and back, in and out. Rotate around on the joint a little bit. He's got single jointed knees, but they do once again have pretty good range of motion. And then he's got ball hinges in the ankles that move forward and back, side to side, pivot, everything you want there, and a toe joint. And if you have a tail plugged into the back, you get a little ball peg so you can move that around as you so desire. So, like I said, articulation is pretty good, especially on a figure of this size. Don't really have any massive complaints about it. Let's go ahead and move on to some accessories. Accessories-wise, Goku comes with a pretty good bit of stuff. He comes with 7 sets of hands. You get a set of fist hands, a set of open palm blasting kind of hands, a set of closed finger sort of saluting or waving kind of hands. You get some Kamehameha wave hands, which is also the hand you would use to hold the Dragon Ball, which it holds loosely, but you basically just have to balance it, but that is something that is for. You get some fighting pose, sort of 2-finger grasping sort of hands, and then you get 2 peace sign hands and 2 holding hands for the power pole. So that's basically all the kind of hands that I would expect. I can't think of anything that's missing. So that should be pretty good for all your hand-related needs. You get the Dragon Ball that I mentioned earlier, which is clear orange plastic and has the 4 stars on it, as it is the 4-star Dragon Ball, which is Goku's grandfather's Dragon Ball. You get 2 power pole type things. You get the sheath that goes on Goku's back. You can take that off, and it has a piece poking out of it, which you can take out. And then you get the power pole itself, which is long and shiny red, and it fits in his grasping hands pretty well. And it does not extend magically, unfortunately, so that's a 0 out of 10, would not buy again. But other than that, it's perfectly acceptable. Then you get 2 different tails. You get a normal, just sort of regular posed tail, and then you get one that's specifically designed to be hooked around the power pole so you can kind of hang from it, or you could use it to hang him from other things, but it's not gonna, his tail connection will not hold him up, so you do have to use a stand and just kind of make it look like he's holding onto things, because the ball peg will just fall out of his butt if you try to actually hang him from something. Then you get the Flying Nimbus, which is yellow and cloud-shaped, has a lot of good shading around all the little contours and stuff. It has its tail, which can be rotated around. One side of it is kind of divoted out, so he can sit in that, and then it's got a peg hole for the actual stand itself to sit into, and then on the bottom, where it's more rounded, it has 2 holes that you can plug flight stands into. So you can have him on the cloud being held up by a stand, and then the cloud itself being held up by 2 more stands. And he does come with the Tamashii stand for that, and you get 2 normal arms and 1 4-jointed arm with the waist clip to use for Goku himself. So that's all very cool. Lots of accessories, plenty of stuff to vary up your posing options for Goku. So that's very cool. Now let's go ahead and move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, Goku comes in the new style of SH Figuarts packaging, although I guess it's not really new anymore. Big window, SH Figuarts Son Goku. Picture of the figure over there on the side, and you get all your Dragon Ball, Bandai logos, little Toei animation sticker, all that kind of stuff. On the back, pictures of the figure, and some stuff in Japanese that I can't read, and that's about it. As always, these are good for and or out-of-package display. So yeah, Goku. Alright, that wraps it up for Kid Goku, so until next time, goodbye! Thanks for watching one of my videos. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like the video or subscribe if you would like to see my future content. If not, run away. Run away and never return. Also, feel free to support me on Patreon at patreon.com/vrreviews. Follow me on Twitter at VenomRaptor09 or follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/vrreviews. Thank you and goodbye.